Hello, this is Melissa the Crafty Ginger. I'm going to show you today how to make a miniature Christmas ornament for a boho Christmas. And these are really fun, they're quick, they're pretty inexpensive projects. And for supplies, you're going to need some rope. I have this beautiful, soft, 100% cotton in the color gold for this project. This is from Rock Mountain Co. You can find them on Etsy, and I'll link them below too. They have all these colors that are really nice and neutral. They have this one, which is just like an ivory, this pink blush. This is like a greenish gray, and then black. I'm not going to use the black right now because it's too hard to see the detail of the knots. You're going to need something to put on your piece, like a hanging rod. You could use copper, a piece of wood, a twig. This is driftwood. A comb for brushing out your French, and some scissors. So for this project, I am using just rough measurements, about 3/4 of a body length. So the way I do that, my wingspan is 60 inches. So if you're really tall, just kind of, we'll say that this is going to be about 45 inches. So there's a half a body length, and there's a 1/4 body length. So you cut your rope right there. Okay, now find the center of your rope and put the center of the rope over your rod. And then you're going to grab the tails of the rope and pull it through. For this one, I have 8 ropes on here, and then I have 1 rope that's going to be the hanging rope at the very end. These little ones are kind of tricky to get to hang up there. Okay, so all we're doing for these knots are just half hitch knots. So they're diagonal half hitch knots. So you're going to be going diagonal and meeting in the center, diagonal on this side, meeting in the center, and then the second row you're going to have, this is your lead cord. So you're just taking the neighbor of the first cord. I'll show you how to do all this. So the furthest left cord is this one right here. You're going to hold that diagonally and take its neighbor and put the tail of the rope over and then through this space you just created. Do that twice. Put the tail over your lead cord rope and pull it through. Okay, you have to do it twice for each cord. Just take the next neighbor. You don't have to do it so methodically once you kind of get the hang of it, but at first it's helpful just to visualize what you're doing. And you're just kind of making a soft triangle. So I don't want a super steep angle on this. If you wanted a steeper angle, you just hold your lead cord at a steeper angle. So let's see. I have 6. Okay. Just trying to make your way to the center. If these seem too far apart, just kind of squish them together like that. So you get kind of like a tighter, like that one's a little bit loose. I'm probably going to take that one out. If you want to take it out, just grab these 2 last knots that you made and pull your lead cord like that. That'll undo it. That's a quick way to undo it. Okay. This cord is really nice because it's super soft. It's really soft on your hands. Okay, now I'm just going to try to kind of clean those up a little bit so it's nice and even looking. Now starting from the outermost right cord, make sure your lark's head knot isn't twisted. Mine was twisted a little bit. Hold that one at a diagonal, take its neighbor. You're going to do the same thing. Put the tail over the lead cord and pull it through the space you just created. This is the opposite, but I just want to show you kind of slow motion just so you get, okay, here's the tail going over the lead cord, pulling it through that space. Okay. Once you kind of get the hang of it, you can do it closer toward the lark's head knot. You don't have to, visualize putting the tail over. There we go. Make sure you're doing it twice on each rope. Otherwise, it's just, you're kind of just like looping it over one time. It won't hold the knot in. Let's do the center. I'm gonna probably squish these together just so I get a nice tight look. Okay, my angle on that one was a little bit steeper, so I'm just gonna try to, you can kind of manipulate it a little bit. And since this rope is so soft, such soft cotton, you can kind of pull it a little bit more. Okay, so we have our first V finished right there. Now we're gonna go onto the second V. Starting on the left side with the outermost cord as the lead cord, you're gonna hold that one at a diagonal and repeat the same thing. So this is just a start of a design. I mean, I would even, once you get kind of more into macrame, you could incorporate a lot more design elements into this. You could be doing square knots up here. You could do more diagonal half hitch knots. Okay, let me show you what the back of this looks like really quick so you can see how you could incorporate different design elements. This is the back of a diagonal half hitch knot. So you could do maybe one row like this, and then 2 rows like this, and then another row like this to kind of get just a variety of knots in there. I'm gonna show you another one that I'll have a video on as well. This one has vertical clove hitch knots right here. These are square knots, left and right square knots in here. And then here's that same pattern we're doing right here with some more square knots. So, for this one, if you wanted to make it a little more interesting, you could put some square knots in here, square knots down here, or you could mix in the diagonal half hitch backward. So to do that, you would just literally turn it around like this and start working. See, that looks kind of pretty right there. So you would start working it this way. Make sure you keep this, I already put on my hang cord. So just some ideas so that yours don't look exactly like mine. I'm sure everybody wants to have a unique design. So I'm gonna keep going on with this left side until we get to the center again. And when I get to the center, I'm gonna leave this last one right here, which was the lead cord from the first row, because we're gonna put that cord on this side. So we bring these together, because if I were to use this one right here, then my design is like very separated, and I don't want that. So what I'm gonna do, here's the lead cord from the right side. That's this cord right here. And this is the second lead cord from the left side. I'm going to use the right side one. I'm basically just trying to bring the design together so it doesn't have that split in the center. Okay, and then when we finish the right hand side, we're gonna use this lead cord from the first row on the left hand side. So let me show you that really quick. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it, obviously. You can do whatever you want. But I just like mine to be joined in the center. You can see how fast these are too. You can make these in 10 minutes or so when you get going. You could populate a whole little Christmas tree with these, or just incorporate them into your big tree. Okay, so now I'm almost to the center. I have that one more cord right here coming from this side that I'm going to use as the final cord on the right side. So now my design is brought together. You can't pull it apart. Okay, I'm gonna do, I think I'll do maybe one more because I like things in threes, and then I might do a little more square knots down below just to make it more interesting. Okay, I've finished the third row here, and I just wanted to point something out. Depending on the length or the thickness of your cord, it's gonna look different. So this is 4mm cotton, soft twist cotton, light twist cotton, and this is 6mm. So you can see that the stitch definition on this one is like a lot more pronounced because this is 1.5 times the size of this one. So that's why this one looks so teeny. So just to add kind of a little bit more interest, I don't have any more of this. I would have used it for the demo, but I really like this cotton because it's super soft on your hands and it looks beautiful and festive and gold. So what I'm gonna do now is, I think I'm gonna come back out in an X. So I'm gonna do one square knot right here in the center, one left. So to do that, you make this 4 or like an L position with the left cord, and then you go over it with the far right cord, and then you go behind these two, the anchor cords, and through the far left one. Okay? I have lots of videos demonstrating that, but let's do it again. So you're gonna make that L shape with the far right cord now. This is a right hand square knot. Go over it with the farmost left cord, behind the two anchor cords, and through. Okay, so now we have a square knot. So I think now I want to go back out. So this is going to be my first lead cord on the left side, and this is going to be my first lead cord on the right side. So just find your neighbor here. Let's see, do I want to use that one? Maybe I want to use, I'm going to use these anchor cords actually, the two in the center. There we go, that'll be a nice clean look. Okay, so you're going to hold your lead cord going this way, and you're doing the same thing that you've done before, where you put the tail over and pull it through that space. Put the tail over, pull it through. And I'm going to try to mimic this line right here. So I'm trying to keep the cords kind of in line. Just keep straightening them as you go. Okay. This has kind of a cool X pattern to it. Going a little bit slower than normal because I don't want this to be moving around like it's really jumping around a lot. I don't want your eyes to go crazy. Okay, we've made it all the way to the left side. Now we're gonna go on the right side. Okay, so just straighten everything up a little bit. Again, we're using that center cord from the square knot as our anchor cord. So tail goes over and then through the space. Tail over and through. Okay, and I think the best rule of thumb with these is just keep them simple, you know, because you're gonna have a lot. If you're using this for a tree, you're probably gonna have, you know, quite a few ornaments. And they don't all need to be super crazy designs. They can just be, you know, pretty basic. You can see this one with the 6mm cord, even though those are really basic knots, it's just the same knot again and again. It looks complex and it'll look really nice next to a bunch of different ornaments that are coordinating colors and similar knots. I think I might just leave this after this. You could continue on and do, you know, to mimic the shape up here, you could do 2 more. To do that, you would just take the next door neighbor, you know, the next one on the left and the next one on the right, and you'd go on like that. And then, you know, the final one would be the next one like that. So I'm just gonna trim this up. I'm trying to decide if I should continue. Or maybe just do like another square knot in the center. So this is very free form. Of course, you're just doing whatever you like. Maybe I will continue. Yeah, I think I'll do 2 more. Okay, so here's the finished product before trimming. I think I want the fringe to go kind of in a chevron. So I'm gonna start with the center cords at my longest point, what I want those to be. And I don't want it to be too long because this is a pretty dainty little fellow here. So actually maybe I'll go out. I'm gonna go down. So just kind of grab it. You don't need to be perfect with it. Just trim them up and then grab this side. There we go. Okay. And then I always comb mine out just because you're gonna get nicer fringe. So just really gently make sure you don't grab any of these knots because you'll mess them up. Try to get all the way to the base of the knot. There we go. This one's all wacky. Why is he all wacky? There we go. Okay, now that he's trimmed or brushed out a little bit, I think I might trim this just a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna call this one done because I'm gonna have quite a few on my little Christmas tree. So thanks for watching. Please check out the links below for the other videos in this series, and I have a couple other series too. I have a Macra-Mini Key Chain, Macramé plant hanger, advanced series, and some other wall hanging. So thanks for watching. If you would tag me in your Instagram post, please, so I can see what you've been up to. It's crafty_ginger. Thanks for watching. Bye.